what you like more, like when you were the program, your project manager. Um,
What did I like more? Between project management and running my own business,
yes.
I think, I manage projects now. It's just on a smaller scale. So, really, I kind of like managing my own projects, but then, it's a lot harder because you have to keep yourself accountable because there's no boss. So you're the boss, so you have to report into yourself and make sure stuff gets done. And then obviously my clients are my bosses too, so now I have a lot of bosses. So I don't know. It's a mix. It's a trade off because I also liked my job as well too. So that was I would say there's pros and cons of both.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so true. I mean, we all feel that if we have that company of our own, that's it, and we are the luckiest
Mhm.
person. But then it comes with its own challenges, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm.
It does, like just being your own boss. It's not as glamorous as it sounds. You have to make sure that you can boss yourself around and get things done.
But trust me, it feels. I mean, from apart from you, I would say everybody thinks that your life is
Hmm.
glamorous.
Yeah. Hmm.
As soon as you're the owner, you're CEO, or you're the boss, uh,
Hmm. Yeah.
it feels, yeah, something extra. And definitely, a lot of uh, thing goes into making that. Not everybody can become one.
Hmm.
So that's good. And yeah, we'll just wait a couple of more minutes and
Okay.
then we'll start off. Hi, Anudeep. Welcome to the session.
Yeah, hi. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, hi. So, after a long time, I'm seeing you
Yeah,
and I mean, hearing you, and that's nice to have you. Um, Hi, zero. I think it's a number ending
Hari,
with
hi,
zero.
Hari. It's Hari.
Yeah, hi Chilan, this is Hari.
Hi, Hari. Oh my God, after a long time, nice to have you.
Thank you. Yeah,
And yeah, Kim, just want to introduce Hari. He is a man of who knows most of it. The marketing side, the technical side, and so much. So happy to have him in the webinar. Thank you, Hari, for joining.
hi team. Yeah, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Julan, for arranging this session with Kim.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome, and I'm glad that you've joined. So, what do you expect, Hari? What is your expectation right now? Here, seeing the topic, if I can ask you.
Um, no expectations at this point of time, but maybe towards the end, maybe we can definitely have a. What are the takeaways from this session?
Okay, so
Yeah,
you will give it at the end. Okay,
yeah.
sounds fair. Yeah. So let's get started. Kimberly. Now, since you said that your middle name is Kim, it's somehow I've started saying Kim. But yeah, welcome all to this session of Let Us Talk It webinars. We are extremely excited to have started this 3-day saga almost in a week. The 3 days of Let Us Talk It webinar for adults, but I mean, for the professionals, I would say, for individuals, for everyone. And then we have this Friday webinar, which will be happening and starting from this week for the youths. the Let Us Talk It youth program. So we are extremely excited to get started with that as well. So out of the 5 days, we have 4 days of webinars. We are going strong, very happy about it. And thank you so much for joining in. And those who are joining us on Facebook, YouTube, welcome you as well. And so today's topic on Let Us Talk It webinar is conquering the chaos, effortlessly generate and nurture leads without drowning in technology. So that is something that I'm looking forward to as soon as it comes to nurturing leads, generating leads. One thing comes right now is technology, is marketing, is flooding the social media. So I'm very, very excited to know more about it. And the topics would be, and the areas that would be covered by our speaker today is the benefits of automating your lead generation and nurturing, how to use automation at each phase of the customer's journey, what the ideal the customer life cycle looks like for your business, and how to avoid technical overwhelm, and the strategies that can be used. And to give this wonderful new outlook to marketing, to lead generation, we have with us Kimberly, and she is the founder of a very unique name, her company's name, Foolishly Creative. So she is the founder of Foolishly Creative, and she has over 10 years of marketing and web development experience. After working for both small and large organizations throughout her career, she has decided to use her talents to help small businesses grow and shine online. And her mission is to support those who have a vision and are brave enough to take a foolish leap of faith. And Kimberly also enjoys anime, video games, and traveling to new places. And while she was on camera a few minutes back, we knew that she has 2 dogs, Grayson and Kenso. So she is an animal lover, a cat lover, and we are absolutely honored to have you, Kimberly. Over to you.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. So I'm going to turn on my camera. Okay, and I'm just going to get started. So, yeah, 1 second. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk to you about the process of automating your business. And if you have a small product or a service-based business and you're doing tasks repeatedly or frequently, and if you're comfortable with technology but not 100% yet, and if you're open to learning and implementing new things, you're definitely in the right place. And you're also in the right place if you want to automate and get as much of your time back. And I'll explain what that looks like, what that looked like for me when I recognized I had this problem, and also when I knew I had to make a change. So this is what you'll get by hanging out today. What the chaos kind of looks like, understanding the ideal customer life cycle, nurturing leads, and the next step. And it's not for you if you're not really willing to work on your business. Some people are like, nope, I'm fine. Everything's great. If you're not open to change, and if you kind of already know everything, which is probably not any of us, and it's definitely not me, I'm always open to getting better. So yeah, I'm going to make an offer for a free gift as well, or a free challenge that I am running, but more on that to come. So here's about me. Like Julian said, I am Kimberly Inez Mays, and my primary target client are coaches, speakers, authors, and thought leaders, because these are the types of people who tend to work either alone or with a small team, and they tend to do the same things. So we help them elevate their online presence so that they can attract their ideal clients. And my philosophy is just about making everything simple. So here's how automation changed my life and my business. It saved me countless hours doing the same things. So I identified repeatable processes that I was just drowning in follow-ups, drowning in just check-ins and drowning in everything else like that. And I just said, okay, well, I just got a little tired. And then I was able to automatically nurture the leads that I just acquired. So if I get a lead into my business, which I'll talk about all of this in the 6 ways, I'm able to talk to them directly right after they've joined my list. And then I streamline my service delivery to impress my clients. So when you have your service delivery already in place and it looks professional and it runs, your clients will take notice. My clients definitely do. So this is something that automation has benefited me. So here's like my backstory. I started in 2003 and I've been in email marketing like for ages, so like the 17 years of email marketing. So I've done email marketing, template design, development, automation building, you name it, for large and small businesses alike. And in 2017, I started Foolishly Creative. And Foolishly Creative was not an email business at the time. Really, what we started out doing, and that we still do, is web design. And I noticed that there was a big gap between people I've done websites for and those same businesses who are not utilizing marketing automation. They're not doing any email marketing, and they're not really consistently promoting their business. So after the website was done, nobody would visit because they're not marketing. So I took on a lot of clients and my business was doing great until I started burning out. I was tired because I would always have to follow up with people, chase people, remember what it was I needed to do, constantly communicate. And then I was so stressed that I closed my business for a little while because I wasn't enjoying my life. I took it was the summertime when I closed. I think it was about mid-June or early July of 2018. And I did not open again until October or late September, but I reopened with a strategy. And today, my business life has changed for the better because I said, okay, let's put some processes in here so that I don't burn out. So even though I've done it for many years and I have a little bit more experience, if I could do it, pretty much anybody could do it. So why marketing automation? Like I said before, I worked with large organizations and small ones, and I believe everything that's available to a large organization is also available to a small one, if not more so. So some of the big business strategies that I've been a part of can be applied to a smaller business on a smaller scale, but it can still be applied. And I've seen it work. And I'm going to talk about specific examples in this webinar. But as I show things to you guys, just keep in mind that it's not about doing everything all at once. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I don't expect you to get off the webinar, get off the training and say, okay, we're going to build this massive thing. It takes time, and if you identify one repeatable process and just pick one thing to work on, it makes a huge difference. So it's all about baby steps. And perfection could be your enemy if you look to have everything perfect before you put it into practice. Sometimes you'll put things into practice and you'll have to go and redo it because it needs to be tweaked. And my advice is, if you're diving into technology, you're diving into systems, or if you're using a platform, really develop your strategy first before going into that system. It'll save you a lot of time. And then when I mean systems, I really mean marketing automation systems. So this could be a marketing automation like MailChimp, MailerLite, Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, whatever. The system doesn't matter, but the strategy definitely does. So here's what that chaos looks like, and it shouldn't be this way. So as a small business owner, especially one that just started, we wear multiple hats. You're the accountant, you're the marketer, you're the developer, you're the salesperson. And so you're doing all of these things at once because usually people start off small. They don't really have the budget to hire. So there's no central focus. And as you're working in your business, trying to keep all of the plates in the air, you're not really sure how you're growing. And if you're investing in systems and technology and tools, it could feel like you're drowning because everything has its own learning curve. So what you're finding is that you're just burned out at the end of the day. So wearing multiple hats, you have 15 different responsibilities, and you're constantly pulled in one direction or another. And then by the time you have a moment to yourself, you're too drained to do anything more. And this sounds like a lot of people. This was definitely me. So there are ways around it. And yeah, it's like a daily fight, finding new customers and following up with them. It could be very daunting, and you may feel like this on some days where you're trying to get ahead and you just kind of fall back down, you're exhausted. So, it doesn't have to be that way. And what drowning in technology could look like is you're overloaded with email and data. Maybe you have your email open all day and you respond immediately to every single email that comes in. Or maybe you're taking clients by email. You're going back and forth with clients over email. Maybe you feel like you have to keep following up over email. And then social media. Social media is great, but a lot of people tend to spend a lot of time on it. And then where does the time go after they have already spent a lot of time marketing, communicating, and things like that? And then just really having too many solutions. So when I mean too many solutions, I mean too many things that they're trying all at once. So somebody could be trying webinars, and then somebody can be trying events and trying to do too many services or too many tasks in a day, and it's not quite working for them. So I'm just talking about customer life cycle really quickly. Yes, there is a life cycle to your customer. So I'm actually drawing a figure 8 in the air. So think about when you get like a new client and then or a new lead, and they become a client in your business. And now they're a client in your business and you're serving them, you're doing a good job, and then your project's finished or the engagement's finished, and then they come back around and they work with you and they become a new client over again. So there's a life cycle, and it's usually not a one and done thing. It's usually a rinse and repeat, and there's usually testimonials, referrals, and whatnot. So you want to think about ways you can automate where they are in that life cycle and identify some of the places in that life cycle where they're going to be. So here's where we start the life cycle. We have to get them into our universe. We have to get them onto our email list. And before I continue further, let me just check to see if there are any questions. Are there any questions? Anybody has questions? Or are we going to hold them to the end?
No, not right now. You can carry
Okay.
on.
All right, cool. All right. So to generate leads and to grow your list. This is the most important automation, because if you're not generating leads and growing your list, it's like you have nobody to talk to and you can't do the other 6 things or the other 5 things I'm going to show you. So the easiest way to generate a lead and to grow your email list is to give away something for free in exchange for an email list. So this is generally called a lead magnet. And a lead magnet could be a PDF, it can be a guide, it can be a training, it can be anything that you need it to be that will speak to your ideal client and get them really interested in your business. And it should solve a piece of their problem, but not give away the entire solution, because their next step is to want to continue to work with you. So this could be a pop-up or a form on your website. This could be a dedicated landing page where you're offering a freebie in exchange for an email address. So after they put their information in, submits the form, they get whatever you're giving away, but your system gets whatever it is. Your system gets that email address from that person, because really you're giving them permission, or they're giving you permission to market to them. So really what that looks like is you need to now nurture that relationship. And this is something I'm not seeing a lot of people do. Sometimes they'll just have a generic subscribe to my newsletter, and really a lot of people are already getting too much email as it is. So you really want to be very specific on who you want on your list. You want the right people on your list. And then after they get on your list, you can send them marketing messages, notification, blogs, and other communications as long as they continue to be opted into your list. So this is the most important thing, is just starting to get those email addresses onto your list. Yep, and this just says more of what I was saying before. So once they're onto your list, you're going to have to find a way to welcome them into your business, because sometimes they may have signed up for something and don't remember what they signed up for, or they may have signed up for something and they just really don't know what your business is about. They just need that free downloadable. And so the best time to get someone's attention is really at the beginning. So what I recommend is having a welcome series that automates the first few emails that a subscriber will get, because you want to stay top of mind during that early stage. Remember, they just downloaded something. Maybe they're looking for it in their inbox. They're excited about it. So I say about 5 to 6 emails sent about 2 days apart. You don't want to keep bombarding them with stuff, but you want to have a set and distinct series of emails that you have created that kind of welcome them into your business. So you can thank them for downloading and thank them for subscribing, and then really tell a story. And stories really sell. So you may want to tell a story about how you helped somebody in the past that were just like them, or how you were able to get results for a client like them. And then you want to encourage them to reply and engage, and just really to participate, to click and open. And then I'd also say offer some of your best content. So this could be anywhere you've been featured, case studies, white papers, anything like that, blogs, so that you have that social proof and they can go check it out. And then something else I started doing is inviting people to my Facebook group or to follow me. You can also invite them to webinars, and then also lastly, you can invite them to consultations, strategy calls, sales calls, whatever you typically call them. So in this way, now they've gotten a chance to get to know you, and now you can make an offer that would put them at the next step where they need to be. So that's number 2. And number 3 is engage with interested leads. So engaging with leads is super important. You want to make sure that you are doing business, or you make sure that you are communicating with people who are interested in your business. So for example, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I'm interested in your business, I want to work with you, or even what your price is, you want to have a process to bring those people on board. So as your business grows, you're going to have a harder time manually keeping track of all the people who have interacted with your business, and they're going to be at a certain stage. Some people will be at the stage where they have not yet talked to you. Some people will be at the stage where they've talked to you, but you owe them a proposal, or maybe you owe them an invoice. So they need to know, you need to know where they are, but you don't need to keep track of it mentally, because that can be tiresome, especially as your business grows, you get more clients. So this is where I start recommending what's called a CRM. And a CRM stands for a customer relationship management tool. And what that is just a virtual Rolodex like we had back in the day with the paper and on the wheels of spin. And that just brings up everybody who's interacted with your business, what they've opened, what they've clicked on, and what they've purchased, and you can just do so much with it. And so here's what an engagement with an interested lead could look like. Maybe you have a lead generation form on your website, and as a new lead fills out a form and answers some questions, they get put into your customer relationship management tool, and they can book a time to meet with you. You can send them a proposal. You can create invoices, but this is the important thing, is that it's done automatically. So when I say you send them a proposal, you send them an invoice, your system takes care of all of this stuff for you. And they can pay the first installment of your invoice. You can have payments auto-generated, auto-debited from your client's credit card. So you don't need to go over and over and keep doing these repeatable things. So you have more time to focus on the service delivery instead of all the administrative tasks. I'm going to take a sip of water, but I'm going to talk about recovering abandoned carts. So when I say carts in quotation marks, I really mean that some people have product-based businesses and some people have service-based businesses. Product-based businesses, especially e-com, is probably the easiest example. Have you ever browsed the website like Best Buy or Target or whatever online retailer, and then you got an email a few hours later asking you to complete your purchase? That's what an abandoned cart looks like. And I've been able to put together these types of campaigns before in corporate, and they actually convert really well. Now, for service-based businesses, the idea and the concept is the same. So say you have a landing page, or you have some sort of sales page that somebody can go to, sign up for something, whether it's an event, whether it's a consultation call or a request for a quote, anything like that. Say you have that and the person just decides not to transact, you can then target them to get an email to complete their transaction. And how that looks like and how that works is you track when they're on your sales page, and you track if they made it to the page that comes after submitting that form. And that's how you know who has converted and who hasn't. So for those who have not converted, what you can do, if they're on your email list, is have your system automatically send them an email. So you don't have to go chase people. You don't have to remember who clicked on what. It's automated for you. So that is a little bit more technical, but it is something I've seen work. And I think it can also be applied to a small service-based business as well. Yep, so I just kind of described the process in this slide too. So it's about system detection and knowing what page they visited so that you can then wait maybe a couple of hours and then send them additional emails. All right, so this number 5 is super important, and I want to leave some time to talk about this and kind of go through it a little bit more. So we have welcoming a new subscriber, and those are people who have opted in to your list to get emails from you. So onboarding a new client is when you're now with a lead and they said yes to whatever it is that you're selling. So it could be on a sales call and they say yes and they want to work with you, or they could have already just paid on the spot, whether it's a course or some sort of landing page. So you want to now treat this new client like they're special, because they are, and you want to set up your systems to work the same way for every client. When somebody makes a purchase, they're going to want to know, okay, well, what's next? I signed up for this event. What do I get next? Or I signed up for coaching. What do I get next? That kind of thing. Even for a product or a solution, you have an onboarding process. Maybe you have an app or some sort of system, and now somebody needs to know how to use it. You can onboard these communications. So really onboarding is really automating the process of getting a client set up to work with you. And if you can't do this over and over manually, it's definitely something to automate, because you really don't want to be keeping track of who did what, who sent what at different times. So you're going to have clients at different stages. You're going to have clients that owe you money, and clients that you need to sign a contract. There may be clients that are almost done. So you need to make sure that you know where each person is. And so here's what an onboarding client looks like. Somebody agrees to use your services. Let's say if it's a coach or a consultant, then the coach or consultant will take a deposit over the phone. The client gets sent an invoice or a contract, and then after those documents are completed, then maybe there's additional information. Maybe there's a guide with dates on how to attend the event or to start the consultation process. So after they've completed all of the work to get set up, you can say, all right, now the client is onboarded and start the service delivery. So no more tracking down people, documents, and files. If you use a CRM tool, you can definitely automate a lot of this. So here's what I recommend. I say think about what your ideal process is, and then how could you group the repeatable tasks for each one of your clients. I highly recommend putting it on paper first. So I wouldn't go into a system, log in, and try to figure out how that tool works, because you want to focus on your business first and not on using the tool. So I say just do a pen and paper. It's not intimidating. That's why I say not drowning in technology. We're going to start really simple first and do it on pen and paper. So that is my suggestion. And then lastly, it's about upselling and cross-selling. So for a lot of service-based business, an upsell could look like an offer to purchase a more expensive version of a product or service. So even if you have a product-based business, so for example, if you are selling online courses, then the next step for that person to purchase may be one-on-one coaching or something like that that's more expensive. For products, maybe it's something that's a one-time use. Maybe, I bought a cell phone last year and now they're offering me an upgrade to this year's model. That can be a version of an upsell. And that email, nobody is pressing a button that would send me that email or send somebody that email. It would be automated for a specific specified amount of time from when that purchase was made to when that upsell offer was made. And it really depends on the offer. But a cross-sell works as, you will set up an offer to purchase a related product. So if I buy an iPad, it's going to show me like the cases I can buy, for example, or something that complements what I've just purchased. For a service-based, maybe it could be, all right, you've purchased this service, but now people who have purchased this service also enjoyed this service. So maybe those two are complementary and maybe there's some kind of discount there. And then a downsell is an offer to purchase a less expensive product when a customer will not purchase a regular price offer. So think of a downsell like, if you're selling a live training or a live course or live event, not everybody can attend or maybe wants to pay, but you could sell the recordings for cheaper if they turn down the offer to join the event. So there's a lot of flexibility here as it pertains to your business, but just keep in mind that this is all automated. So nobody is pressing the send button on this stuff. It's set up so that it goes on the date of the transaction, it goes on the item purchased, the sale, and then the client, the contact themselves. And I just gave some examples. So I just used these examples to kind of illustrate my point. So I would say this is where you get out the pen and paper and really start thinking about how your services complement each other. If you have things that work well together, if there's things you're trying to promote, think about where it would fit into your customer life cycle. Remember, just because somebody's bought from you doesn't mean that they're going to stop buying from you. So think about what they need next, and then definitely think about ways to automate that offer. So if they're coming at the end of a use for a particular software, or maybe you're starting selling journals and at journals for like a month, maybe at the end of the next month you can sell another journal. So just really think about the life cycle a little bit more. And then here's my guide to choosing the right systems. So I say write down your ideal business workflow and think about the answer to this question. It would be nice if ... and whatever comes after the dot should be something that you want to automate. And then I like trying to find one system that will do as many things as possible So when you have all of your requirements written down, I say go to the pre-sales team for a demo or to ask any questions of, what systems to use. And then here are the essential systems that I think every service-based business needs. Email marketing for sure, a system to schedule appointments, customer relationship management. So I spoke about that before. Just really making sure that you have a handle on everybody who's coming into your business, whether they convert to a client or not, because eventually people who don't convert may convert, and then people who are already clients could become repeat clients. So you definitely don't want to leave anyone behind. And then invoicing. You want to bill your clients and send invoices automatically, because you don't want to really spend your day chasing money. So these are the 4 things, if you have nothing else, I recommend that you get. And a lot of these things can be handled by one system too. So you should look out for that. So yeah, just a quick recap. Automate your lead generation, welcome new subscribers, engage with your interested leads, recover your abandoned carts, onboard a new client, and then of course upsell and cross-sell your products. So that is, I can take questions at this point, and then I can continue, because I just want to tell you what's next, what my company does, what my team does, and if we can be of any help.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kimberly. Yes, anybody has any questions, please unmute and ask.
Okay. And if you don't want to unmute, I can also take questions in the chat too. Just let me know when somebody comes, somebody asks a question.
Yeah, sure. I will do that. And I have a question. Is that as you say, automating it, and automation would help in sending out these emails. So any tools or any thing that you would suggest and you found useful?
Yeah, so I'm a certified Infusionsoft partner. So I recommend Infusionsoft because it takes care of a lot of these a lot of these systems and a lot of these processes. Infusionsoft's a good one. There's also another one. It really depends on the level, but there's also Active Campaign. That's a really good one. And for email, there's a ton of email service providers too that will do the email service provider task. And then there are a few others that are more geared towards customer relationship management. But I find Active Campaign and Infusionsoft to be ones that I have used in the past.
Okay. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And there is a question in the chat. How was your experience with cold calling?
Yeah. I don't really do a lot of cold calling for my business. I tend to do a lot of relationship building first, and I find that leads come to me through groups that I've joined, platforms I've joined, through my teaching and speaking. Sorry, you see my cat's tail, and he woke up. Yeah, so I have not received a lot of success through cold emails, but I think from my experience, I think as long as you're targeting the right people, it could work. But I just like to build relationships. I find that they're a warmer audience once they're ready to buy.
Right. And I like that word, warmer audience. I feel that that's where the relationship is somewhat built, and we can go forward with that. Yeah. So I guess, Hari, any question from you?
Yeah, it's a nice presentation, Kim. Thank you for sharing your expertise in Infusionsoft, and one more you said that Active Campaign. We are predominantly using the HubSpot CRM for all that you spoke about, the automation, lead generation, or sales pipeline building, kind of even chatbots also be developed, put it on our websites also. Yeah. couple of things like creating maybe white papers, uh, those content creation side which we are still lacking. That's where we are supposed to put in some efforts to make sure that we keep engaging the client base or lead base that we already have built
Mhm.
so far over the years. I think that's where we have to make sure that we keep the clients with the suitable information, maybe time to time updates, all that is missing.
Mhm. Yeah, because I think, you know, if you send them notifications or just messages regularly, they tend to remember who you are. And I find that when people go too long without mailing, then people forget and they tend to opt out. So, but yeah, I've also heard of HubSpot as well. Haven't used it for any client projects yet, but I'm aware of that.
Yeah, there is another question, Kimberly. What are the other innovative ways for inbound leads?
Other innovative ways are I always recommend to my clients just I like content relationship marketing really a lot. So just finding a way to contribute to a platform that is already mature, whether that is being a part as a teacher or a speaker on somebody else's platform, contributing that way. I found that it does make you an authority, and I'm talking more for like a really small business, solopreneur, maybe small team, to really establish your credibility, especially if the larger organization is vouching for you to be there. I find that speaking works a lot. I also I used to do a lot of trade shows as well. Just the fact that you have a table and a banner makes people stop by, and they get to talk to you and they get to chat, and I've gotten a lot of leads that way. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. I also do like SMS. So if I'm speaking to a room, I may offer something for free, and I may just say, okay, well, now pull out your phones, text Foolishly Creative to a number, and then they get the workbook, and I get the email address of everybody who has signed up, because sometimes I don't get the registrant list. So there's a couple of ways, but things that have worked for me are definitely speaking and contributing.
Wow, that one I like it. Talking, and then asking to do something and send their emails. Yeah,
Yeah.
there. Another question. Are there any other services to provide leads in the market to
Mhm.
provide leads based on a specific business?
Yes, so there definitely are. I think you would have to go look for it, and it depends on the business, but I think for service-based providers like consultants, coaches, and virtual assistants, things of that nature, I really like Dubsado, and that is it's called it's spelled Dubsado, Dubsado, and that's really for that vertical that I am in. There's also other ones for photographers, and there's ones for all different kinds of verticals. I think you just have to know where to look, but yeah, I think just the amount of software out there is like incredible, and I think it's just a matter of knowing what your strategy is and then asking for it.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Kimberly. Thanks again for a very structured and methodical presentation. Definitely, we'll stay in touch with you
Hmm.
to for any synergies. Thanks again for your time.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Kimberly, I have another question. Is that when you say about content, when it comes to service based business, so like a small business, or to be very specific, an IT business, they have their content as their technology, what they are doing new, what but I mean, what is the content that we need to get out or get out to the public, and how to do it?
Um, yeah, so it really depends, and I always talk about like pain points, like what are people struggling with, like what is it that and I tell my clients, I tell my clients, what is it that what problems does your business solve? And speak to that problem. For example, for like a relationship coach, right? Maybe their relationship's not doing so well. Maybe there's communication issues, things of that nature. So maybe a good example for content for a relationship coach could be, conflict resolution. It could be, ideas for date nights, things like that. So it's really centered around the specific problem that the client has or that the customer base has, and then speaking to the solution.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to share your contact details? And
Yeah, I definitely will. So, I am going to skip a little bit ahead. Let me see if you know, because I do my spiel too, but I just wanted to share like what it is that I do. And so, leveraging the system of automation um, is not for everybody. Well, leveraging it is for everybody, but building it is not. So, my team, what we do, and this is me at a trade show about 2 years ago. What my team does is that we do email list building, customer relationship management setup, systems, and more. So there are a lot of companies or a lot of small business owners, they don't have the time or the knowledge to do so. And if they're not comfortable with doing that, then that's where my team steps in. So I can definitely share out these slides. I know that there's a lot of words on it, but we do email list building. We can handle copywriting, content strategy, and making sure that we have an on-brand email newsletter and template for the business, and also just managing the subscribers, the list, and purging inactive subscribers, and then setting up that customer relationship management tool to do client onboarding, service delivery, and then setting up the sales pipeline. And then what we also do is website design. So we're still a website company, and this ties in nicely with the systems that we set up. So we did design exclusively on WordPress, and this is everything that we do. So we really go all out, and we really put together packages that our clients need. And so what the easiest way to get in touch with me is to email me. So my email address is kim@foolishlycreative.com, or there's another URL or another domain that I just purchased. It's called automate with and then .kim. So instead of .com, it's .kim, and that'll take you right to my calendar page, and we can book a discovery call, and we can talk about your business specifically on that call. So that's the best way to do it if you're interested in working with my team and I. Or you can just send me an email, and then I'll send you the next steps on how to set that up. But yeah, that is my my contact information. And I did have a challenge I did not put in the description. Maybe you can, if you want to, I'll send you the link for that. But I am doing a free challenge on the 13th, and that's an email list building challenge. And I will be taking people through 5 days of setting up the perfect lead magnet. And that's going to start on 13th, and then I'll probably will make it evergreen, but that is something I'm also offering as well.
so what do we need to do for that?
Yeah, so I can send you the link to my challenge if you want to include it in the notes. But yeah, that is something I am offering for free, in addition to being able to do the strategy call with me at automatewith.kim.
Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, so that's the end, and I want to just know if there's any additional questions or things for me to cover.
Yeah, I don't think. Just one more time, I'll ask: are there any questions for Kimberly?
Yeah, just I have one question. Like, if you send any cold emails, is there any ideal thumb rule like that we have to follow these many follow-ups, or more than the things what to do? I want to know like things what to avoid while sending this or any follow-ups. This kind.
Yeah, so if there's a particular set of follow ups to do, and I think it's really more art than science. So, when you, um, like when I have created my automations, for example, at first I was sending an email every day for 5 days, and then I realized that was too much. So then I kind of lessened it to maybe every other day or every 3 days. So I think it really depends on the client, and it depends on what your list is responding to, because there's no way to really know until to test. But the ideal open rate for an email is about, I would say, 30 to 40% of opens. So if you're getting far less than that, you probably don't have the right people on your list, or you probably just need to get rid of some people to get that open rate back up.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
So yeah, one more to follow up to that. Is a follow-up email should be the second email to the same email, or it should be altogether a new email for the unopens?
You can send emails to unopens. I think in the sequence that I presented, those are I tend to keep my stuff pretty simple, and I tend to just keep everybody on the same path when it comes to the subscriber email. But in a lot of the software and the tools that I use, you can branch it off by who opened the email, who didn't open the email, and communicate differently. It just takes a little longer to set up, and you have to probably create more email messages.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I guess we have come to the end of the session. And thank you so much, Kimberly, for joining us today, giving those insightful ideas, your viewpoint, and the way to go for it. So, as Srini said, we'll definitely touch base with you again. And yeah, thank you so much, attendees, for joining in. And just a quick reminder about tomorrow's webinar. We'll be having it at 12 p.m. EST. The topic is very interesting, overview of API management. And the topic that we have for Thursday for Let Us Talk It webinars would be the inclusion illusion, an authentic discussion about race and its roots in America, which is, I think, a very apt topic for the way things are going nowadays. So that Thursday webinar will be again from 12 p.m. EST. So we hope to see you there. And for today, we wish you a very, very happy evening, and we'll join back tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.